Um, Good day. I don't know what the best British greeting would be. This is a interesting game that I got to know from another reviewer. Developed by this company called Close Upper, which specializes in doing this kind of end-drone stuff. Don't worry about the song you're hearing now. We'll explain it later. This is called Thank Goodness You're Here. There you go. And it's a game about being British. It's talked about by someone, by a streamer like the VTuber Livalicious. If Bloodborne is one specter of surviving one night, in the UK, this is the other part of the spectrum. All this contributes to tell me that the UK is kind of a really strange place when you get down to it.
Also, yay, Lime's mentioned.
Yes. You can actually have the subtitles being in regular English or in the same dialect that they're using, but for convenience sakes I put them in regular English because voice-wise you're able to understand what they're saying. So we're starting with commercials.
Hi.
Tiny Tums, Tiny Pies. You simply won't get tinier.
Phrasing.
Peas. Not quite peas.
Also, yes, Matt Berry is involved in this
but something
somehow.
special in betweens.
Please tell me he's like the main voice actor for
No,
this.
that's the thing. He plays. He's NPC that he voices. It's important, but just one of the background characters.
Come on down.
Huh.
What is Bedcall, where we have an ample variety.
Phrasing.
Ron.
Again, because someone else mentioned in another review, Dweebs, are British commercial really this weird?
Theo, remember, please give us a pound. Or
No,
pull the
believe
trigger.
it or not, they're even weirder.
So that's Barnsworth.
So yeah, our protagonist, which is talking to his boss right now, needs to go to this place called
Today.
Yeah, Barnsworth, in order to sell something. Ow. So, what is this game about? It's called, the genre is called a slap performer. It's working to a point-and-click game. You just move around and then slap things to interact. You don't have to collect items or anything, and this tutorial demonstrated the fact that you need to pop the top of a ladder, as he calls it. What? And
Why is Isabel on the phone?
and then just exit the building in the most...
jumping out the window.
Yeah, this game is all about British humor.
That icon there, is that meant to be Blue Pizza?
No idea.
The front door's right there.
He just papyrused his way out.
Or the Prince in Cinderella Free.
Yeah.
Thank goodness the bus was actually going. Okay, this song, first of all, this is actual stock footage, real-life stock footage, not sure from which year, probably even the late 70s, early 80s, of the real town of Barnsley, which is what the fictional town of Barnsworth is actually based around. A video game. Okay.
Wow, I'm here to play a video game. I'm glad I got what I paid
So
for.
this game takes place in Yorkshire.
Yes,
Audio
North,
from
as it's
Shell.
called. Although there you go, the suburban type of houses, I recognize them instantly because I've been to both Manchester and Canterbury, and the type of suburban type of houses is, super recognizable. This song that you're hearing is the one moment of levity from the otherwise very depressing movie Cass. If you haven't seen it, don't. It's a super depressing story.
Cass?
Yes, about a boy who befriends a Kestrel and then bad things happen to both of them.
Oh my.
But the
Spoiler, the Kestrel dies at the end.
But the one moment of levity was that someone made a song about marrows that is a penis gag, basically. So,
But if you just sit there,
taking a page from, of all things, the recent Far Cry games, random.
What?
You can just stay put here for 15 minutes roughly, and then you can literally go to the end of the game immediately if you have enough
I love
patience.
it when games do this
So
shit.
you know
It's
what?
great.
Let's dedicate this first part in doing that and talk about the game in the meantime. Why not?
Really?
Okay, wow,
then.
this is probably the least amount of work Tio's had to do for a game.
It's more like the history eraser button beat from Ren and Stimpy. I'm compelled to not press the button to move forward.
I mean, she said to wait.
So let's start talking about this song that we're hearing in the background because this is gonna be something that is heard roughly around the entire game. So let me get this immediately out of the way. Pardon again the pronunciation. It should be roughly called Onirkla Murbartat, which is a typical Yorkshire folk song and the unofficial leitmotif for the entire, northern section of England, apparently. What's it about? The Circle of Life, believe it or not, because it talks about a guy that wants to court a woman called Mary Jane, but the other guy tells him, no, if you go outside without a hand, you're gonna catch a cold, then die, then we will bury you on that hill, Il Clamour, the worms will feast on your corpse, the ducks will actually feast on the worms, then we will hunt the ducks and feast on the ducks, and so the cycle will continue on. I guess it's something that you have to learn.
He was very creative with his threat there, I guess.
So, yeah, let's talk a bit more about the development of this game. The developer called Supper, like I said, specializes in this 2D hand-drawn style that, translates this kind of bit like Cuphead, technically. But I'm reminded also on some old point-and-click game from LucasArts, like The Curse of Monkey Island, where they perfected going from traditional pixel art to more hand-drawn kind of style. But they did a game before this called The Good Times Garden, which is also free on Steam. So I know what you're thinking. Why haven't I recorded that first? If anything, it's also pretty easier to do, and it's a 10-minute most ramp because it's non-safe for work as hell. It's not like it's all about technically sexual content, but there's parallels to genitalia everywhere in the game. So no, you're only getting a faint description of it. Basically, it's about a being that is born from a vegetable that goes around naked and feeds different kind of things to another living being up until the protagonists themselves throw themselves into the mouth of this being. I don't even know what it's supposed to be a metaphor about, being consumed by everything consuming, predators taking advantage of people for their own, amusement or something else. I don't fucking know. Maybe copious amounts of drugs were involved with the production, and, it's entirely possible it's a metaphor for it. But again, it's free on Steam if you want to give it a look, you do what you want with your time and everything. So instead, afterward, they spent a bit of time to make this, which was released, if I recall correctly, in 2024. And if I recall correctly, its current price, even not on sale, it's not particularly high. Let me see. And it takes inspiration. Oh, it's even on sale right now as we're recording this. Yeah, normally cost, 18 euros, maybe it's a bit much. But if it goes around, for less than that, or like right now, like I said, it's 9 euros, so it should be roughly around, like, say, £11 or $10 mostly for a sale. That is a more affordable price if I can, can judge it correctly. It's also worth noting that it's translated in a lot of languages, including both European and worldwide, like, traditional Chinese or, Japanese, Spanish, Latin American, but not in my country. My country is the only one from the multi-fi who is notably absent. Some people did make a fan translation, and I checked it, it's fine. The biggest speculation is that they believe that a lot of the wordplay will not translate well, but again, as mentioned multiple times, my country has a history of just, translating that, and that being a lesson into, understanding the wordplay from a fictional language instead of, having to forcefully change into something else for us to understand that. So I don't know, I think someone else screwed up, either that or they deemed us a low priority, probably because they believed the game would have not sold that much here, which it's entirely possible as well. In terms of voice acting, like I said, Matt Berry is the only high-profile, VA that they got for this, and that is because apparently it was a dare that they made. For those who don't know, the publisher of this title, I forgot the exact name, let me check, Panic, there you go. They're the same publishers of stuff like Untitled Goose Game, for example. So they have a bit of
Yeah,
money
I see that.
at disposal. So
Yeah.
that Cole Supper, at one point, Cole Supper basically said something like, wouldn't it be funny if Matt Berry gets started into voicing a character in this? And the publisher was like, sure, let's give him a call. And they got him. And which
Wow.
and it's not, again, it's not like he has like a one phrase cameo just for funsies. It's not like he's a super important character, but his character has presence in the story. It's fine, and it seems like he had a good time. Certainly a better role than the one he got in the Minecraft movie at the end of the day, if you ask me. But
The
that's
funny
a
thing
high
is,
bar. Go on.
the funny thing is, this is one of 3 video game roles total that Matt Berry has had. His first ever game role was in Worms Revolution back in 2012 as Don Keystone, aka Dictor. Then apparently he waited 12 years to be in another game, this, and then as of this year in 2026, he is going to be Bane in Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight.
Because why not? But it's worth noting that this is one game where Matt Berry gets to be fully British himself, while instead if you watched some of his roles like Jackie Daytona, I forgot the specific name of the series, is in the one about vampires basically, he has to be more subdued because he's supposed to fake an American accent.
Wait, really? The clip I saw of him from What We Do in the Shadows does have him being full-on British from what I
Well,
last
in
saw.
public he kinda has to, because, you know, they're supposed to be in Arizona and everything. If you saw that picture that is animatic about, you know, that person that thinks Matt Berry would be a good fit to voice King K. Rool in a, you know, Donkey Kong movie, you get what I mean. But yeah, otherwise, the other actors, if I recall correctly, do not have any particular roles, but let me check them, why not. The reason why I'm doing also this is because if you've have not seen much of the game is very rapid fire in terms of dialogue and comedy, which leaves not a lot of room for us to interject, if you ask me. So it's best to get most of the stuff out of the way immediately, basically. So...
Also, I'm curious, on Steam, did they legit get a genre title of slap
I don't think it's in the tag, but I think it's in the game description. Let me see.
It's an interesting name.
Yeah, so they actually put that in the game description. Not even in written text, just with GIFs, actually. So
cute. But yeah, I wondered if they actually went above and beyond and got it like an official tag and everything.
New genre.
Yes, a new genre unlocked. There we go. The other voice actors involved are John Blythe, which has done this, and Earth Must Die, which I don't know what that is. It's another video game apparently. Then there's M. Humble, which has done some short movies, which I guess are also other, you know, British products. Davey Swatpaz, which was also in our short and an episode of a TV series called Battle Kitty. Okay. Peter Sutton, which has only this game under the role. Chris Cantrill, which, okay, this one seemed to have some under the belt. But it's mostly just a TV series, I guess a more British TV series that I don't recognize, like Late Night MASH. Okay, no, was in one episode of the TV follow-up of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Okay.
Huh. Interesting.
Was also apparently a writer for some stuff that starred in. Then there's Jack Evans, only this game under the belt. James Carbot, which is the game's director, so, you know, work with what you have. Will Todd, which was also which is also one of the other games director. Okay, so it's more of we have a bit of a Sierra situation where people involved got to voice in the office. But to be fair, I think the voice acting overall, even outside of Matt Berry, is just fine. They do definitely recapture the whole British humor that you would expect from something like Monty Python, and. The strangeness quirk of this secluded town, which, as you will see, is as Layton-esque anachronisms too, because we don't. One of the big jokes is that you don't understand what time this is supposed to take place in, because the technology is all over the place. So I guess it's a
Or that's
British
literally the
quirk.
point.
Yeah, possibly.
So far, I'm not really seeing the big fuss behind this game. All you're doing is just sitting around aimlessly doing nothing.
You see,
Dwibs, they finally did it. They made the sit-down simulator.
I was about
just
to say,
what every gamer has been asking for.
You heard about walking simulator, how about the sitting simulator? Genius, I
Yeah,
tell
but
you.
you can already do that in real life.
Well,
and yet still
so
it has
include the
nothing.
walking.
We're all commentating on this. We're all doing it right now.
Look, you haven't truly sat until you've done it with the precise control of a video game. Although it still has nothing on the Jesus Christ simulator meta, which is actually a thing now.
Well, I guess. Still, the rest of the music was handled by. Actually, who was the composer? Because right now you don't really have too much of a grasp, because outside of a license, songs like Only L'amour Bardat, we have technically a score. But I don't know if it's supposed to be stock music, because IMDb doesn't credit an actual composer. So some people for the sound department, but that's it.
Given the stock footage used in this game, I wouldn't be surprised if stock music is used. Maybe to truly.
The song from Cass was technically licensed. You will see also in the credits that we had to credit MGM for it. So yes. Again, like you said, if you've never seen the movie, again, we saw it, but if you've never seen it, don't really. It's one of those coming-of-age stories that serves to tell about, loss of innocence of childhood is a cruel thing, which, fucking duh. And it's not particularly elevating the media, if you ask me. It's fine, but you could spend your time watching something else, it's what I'm saying. And a song about, a marrow that's basically a gigantic penis joke, it's not worth your time to watch an entire movie for, if you ask me. So.
How profound.
Sorry, Joe, I forgot. You're American. I guess you're not supposed to know what a marrow is supposed to be. It's a gigantic.
Let's read up a whole movie for you.
So, again, for those who don't know, because apparently one of the unwritten rules is that the rest of the world cannot know the secrets of this vegetable, it's a squash. It's a giant zucchini, if you need to know, basically. It's not a pumpkin, it's not a cucumber, but it has some similarity, again, to, the squash type. It's just that one particular sport that the UK loves to do is to have a growing competition between farmers on who can grow the biggest of these type of vegetables, because they're kind of unpredictable in nature,
And let me guess, the joke is that they're shaped like genitalia, isn't it?
Not as much different as an eggplant, so I guess you're technically correct, considering the emoji.
Honestly, with a barrow, it'd be more like who's got the biggest bum.
I'm more surprised that people never made the fallacy about mistaking it for the other meaning that the word marrow is, as in the inside substance of a bone, because that would be more, fucked up. Hey, here we go.
How long have you been waiting, lad? I told Barbara I'd play my schedule so I could see you early.
So if you wait long enough, your entire goal of seeing the mayor is right there, and you can go.
Yay.
And we succeed.
Then.
There you go. Achievement got it. Game over. We're done, lads.
Patience is a virtue.
And there's the title drop.
We can now literally go home
Yeah, I expected the game to say a lot of the title drop. Thank goodness it's over.
So he lost his mustard. Oh well.
So yeah, well, it will make. That's the thing also, Jova. The unfortunate thing is that the punchline, what the mayor says to the salesman, that's the name of our protagonist, makes more sense as a punchline after you play the game as intended. But it's kind of interesting that they do this kind of thing. And again, how fucking random, because these days nobody tries to homage stuff like Far Cry. So someone in the team liked those, I guess.
I would say Undertale Yellow has an ending like this, and it's great.
I was gonna say, Undertale technically has something akin to this. I mean, you technically don't win the game, but hey, if you listen to your mother and stay put for long enough, you will get quite a bit extra from it.
Yeah, it's like Toriel will come back and try to help you out of where you are if you don't move along to the rest of the game, but it just ends.
So yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, she probably could solo most of the underground if she wanted to.
Oh, there you go. Composer
Yes.
James Carbot, which I get, which is also one of the creators, directors, and writers. So again, it's a very internal production kind of thing. I don't think the game received extra funds by the British government, because some countries like mine in recent times had done something, depending if they have something like the an organization called the Ministry of Culture, quote-unquote, which serves to finance the arts, quote-unquote. And in recent times, video game had received funding from the government as extra, fuel, because the government recognizes them as a genuine work of art to be exported to the rest of the world. Expedition 33, Clair Obscur, apparently did receive something like that. The game Dustborn, from what I understand, received support from the European Union as a whole. And I think there's someone else. I think also Ex Voto recently received also financial vote from money from my country. But again, my point is, I wouldn't be too surprised if there was an extra, cash or two thrown at the team in this case. But to be fair, it's not like the game is super heavy. They managed to, maybe it's another joke, but they managed to be super smart in the size compression of this thing. It's less than a gigabyte in size. And again,
Wow.
mostly because it's again 2D hand-drawn, but it has quite a lot of sound files, so they managed to be very smart in backing up all the files, which again, like I said, it might be another joke, considering a very well-known fact is that in recent times all the AAA type of games tend to be very unoptimized, and they're very bloated in size, to the point where some games actually make it a point to decompress themselves with a future patch, and it's seen as a great thing that happens, so who knows. But anyway, that's pretty much it. We're gonna get the same kind of credits in when we finish properly the game, so I guess we can just cut off at this point. So enjoy the rest of the credits, and see you for the next part where we properly start the game correctly. So see you for that.
See you
ya.
then.
Then we shall later bury thee on Ilclimore Bartat. Then we shall later bury thee. Then we shall later bury thee on Ilclimore Bartat. On Ilclimore Bartat. On Ilclimore Bartat. Then tworms will come and eat thee up on Ilclimore Bartat. Then tworms will come and eat thee up. Then tworms will come and eat thee up on Ilclimore Bartat. On Ilclimore Bartat. On Ilclimore Bartat. Then ducks will come and gobble up tworms on Ilclimore Bartat. Then ducks will come and gobble up worms. Then ducks will come and gobble up worms on Ilclimore Bartat. On Ilclimore Bartat. on Il Claymore Bartat. That's where we get us on back, on Il Claymore Bartat. That's where we get us on back. Where we get us on back. That's where we get us on back. On Il Claymore Bartat. On Il Claymore Bartat. On Il Claymore.